Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, on Tuesday said it was not the responsibility of the federal government to prosecute suspected kidnappers and bandits. He said kidnapping and banditry were not federal offenses. Mohammed said this at a press conference in Abuja. He was responding to statements credited to the opposition People's Democratic Party on the security challenges facing the country. The minister said the PDP alleged that kidnappers and bandits are not being brought to justice. This is apparently aimed at the federal government. It is shocking that a party that ruled this nation for all 16 years does not know that kidnapping and banditry are not federal offenses. The PDP should therefore call out the states, including those being controlled by it, to ensure a rigorous prosecution of arrested kidnappers and bandits. Meanwhile, PDP conveniently forgot that as far as terrorism, a federal offense, is concerned, this federal government has successfully prosecuted thousands of Boko Haram members in Kainji as part of a continuing exercise. We are now seeking the cooperation of the judiciary to continue with the trial of arrested terrorists. The People's Democratic Party (PDP) on Tuesday said President Muhammadu Buhari does not deserve the little of the Commander-in-Chief Armed Forces because of his failure to tackle the prevailing security challenges in the country. He said Mr. Buhari's failure to effectively lead from the front against bandits and terrorists ravaging our nation and recent comments from two of his appointees clearly underscored the president's capacity. The main opposition party stated this in a statement by its spokesperson, Ķ11 on Sunday. The immediate past chief of army staff, Tukur Buratai, said last week that Nigeria may wallow in insecurity for another 20 years if underdevelopment continues in many communities. The military alone cannot solve this. There should be hospitals, schools, roads, and government presence in these communities. There are so many ungovernable spaces, and until these spaces have government presence, it will not be resolved, Mr. Buratai told the Senate Committee on Foreign Affairs, screening him for an ambassadorial position. Okay, Lai Mohammed says it is not the responsibility of federal government to prosecute kidnappers and bandits. Okay, those ones are different from terrorists. He said because the federal government has been able to prosecute a lot of these terrorists. So what is now the difference between bandits and terrorists? The difference between bandits and terrorists, because we want to differentiate, is the same. Lai Mohammed now, if you ask him about Boko Haram, he will tell you they have been technically defeated, and the same Lai Mohammed is telling us that they have been prosecuting the terrorists, and meanwhile on the other hand they are still giving them, they are still rehabilitating them, they are still doing that. Okay, always trying to shift blame. This government is a total disgrace. In fact, bros or sis, I am at a total loss at the uselessness of these laws. Can you imagine coming out to make such a statement? Kidnapping and banditry are not federal offenses. Hey, Ghana, wow, is this a government? They are a bunch of buccaneers and devil incarnates. But it's the duty of federal government to keep peaceful protesters. Hey, just leave them to go about their business, since it is not the responsibility of federal government. Which of the states in Nigeria has a police department with constitutional powers to arrest and prosecute, if not the federal police? I just wonder if your children are not ashamed of you most of the time. They're not going to be ashamed now, because these are the things they'll be feeding them with. They'll say, forget the masses, they don't know anything. You know, they can interpret whatever we are doing. They can interpret it the way they want. And those ones, they will believe them. You think they will believe you? No, they won't believe you. They will believe their fathers. But it is the responsibility of federal government to release, rehabilitate, and recruit Boko Haram, bandits, and terrorist Fulanis in the name of repentance, because they are in the same Islamic agenda. I pray your children should not inherit your lies and injustice. History will never be kind to this administration and those that brought them into power. They shall continually bleed as Nigeria bleeds daily. Tears and hardship shall never depart from their household. I said it turn by turn. Okay, sir. Chief Justice Tanko Mohammed, over to you. Oh God, why are you calling on the Fulani CGN to come and handle the case of his kinsmen? It's not going to happen. Forget that story. It will not happen. Hear this man. How is the responsibility then? Or whose responsibility is it then? It shall not be well with you, Mr. Lai Mohammed. Responsibility of politicians in Nigeria is only to thief money. Abi? Now my father's responsibility, so this is not your responsibility. And it's no business of Lai Mohammed's government if hundreds are killed. Next, what does Aregbesola have to say? Must each home stirred by a nation unto herself. This man will vanish after 2023. Anyone who associates with a drug lord must be taking drugs. What do you expect from government of bandits by terrorists and for kidnappers? This is government of herdsmen, terrorists, bandits, for kidnappers. Why then did the federal government send troops to fight bandits in the states? It were not all our responsibility. The jester in the village square has landed the game. Lai Mohammed, it is not the right of federal government of Nigeria to prosecute bandits and kidnappers, but it is the duty of state governments on where the crime is being committed. Mr. Lai Mohammed, who is in control of police force in Nigeria, he who has control of police is the rightful government to prosecute this set of criminals. You want a situation where the federal government will be directing for the release of criminal under prosecution by state government. You know, excuse upon excuse. They are not serious people. And that's to tell you that they are not ready to do anything. If Lai Mohammed could be saying this, that means they are not ready to do anything. They are not ready to fight anything. But it is the responsibility of the federal government to send Gumi to negotiate with bandits and pamper them with amnesty. Abi, you are senseless. Is this man okay? Minister of Lai will kill you for that statement. I don't think Lai Mohammed is with his senses. So whose duty is to prosecute them? You have lost your senses. Why are they prosecuting the Igbos in Yoruba? This government is brainwashed. Nothing in the score to give citizens again. The country must be divided. Can you prosecute the untouchable ones? I mean, can you prosecute the person you cannot arrest? I like this Alhaji lie because he is a brilliant professional liar who never deny the little of lie but embrace it with passion and defending the title vigorously. Alhaji Chief Irolabi Irodewu Iroro Milorun. Oh my goodness, Iroro Milorun. Very convenient for him to lie. Leave your comment, guys, below and let us know whose responsibility to prosecute. Of course, Lai Mohammed has told us he says it's not them.